All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, by Shema Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who will teach well. And I want to say Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, your brother Karat Desire. Back with a quick lesson. And the title of the lesson is Sirach 19 and 20. All right. Wisdom comes from performing a law. All right. So as we know, okay, that the fear of the Lord is to keep his commandments. All right. And if you keep the commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai to the best of your ability, all right, you are showing forth wisdom, all right, because we are living in a place where there is no wisdom being shown forth, and that wisdom is the fear of the Lord. There's no fear of the Lord in this world, okay? All right, so, but in order to fear the Lord and show forth the fear of the Lord, you serve the Lord, and by serving the Lord, you keep his commandments to the best of your abilities, okay? So this is Sirach 19 and 18. The fear of Yahweh Shema Shai is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. The knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai is the doctrine of life, and they that do the things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. And what is one of the things that we must do to please Yahweh Shema Shai? Believe on his son, okay? All right. Verse 20. The fear of Yahweh Shema Shai is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law, and the knowledge of his omnipotency, okay, all right, of his power, his all knowing and all seeing, his power, all right. But right there it says right here, I'm gonna read it in 20 again. The fear of Yahweh Shema Shai is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law. All right, so performing the law keeps us separate, all right, from these nations that's round about us. And what I mean by separate, I mean not by, I mean by separate is not being in the same mannerisms, the same customs that these people take hold of, okay? All right, the world is filled with Babylon Jews, okay? The world is filled with doctrines and philosophies of the so-called white man where it's okay to be contrary to the Lord, okay? But you so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians have adopted so much of his ways because it's been forced upon you, and the school system has been forced upon you in your household because it's been forced upon your parents and their parents and their parents, okay? But the law of the Lord is beautiful, all right? The law of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, brings forth life, all right? Like we just read it, the fear of the Lord, just roughly paraphrasing, says that is the doctrine of life, okay? Wisdom is the doctrine of life, all right? So since we were speaking on the law not being taught unto children, or your parents and your parents' parents, their parents and their parents was subjugated to being taught the ways of the devil, okay? But you, as an Israelite man, are supposed to teach your family, okay? Starting off with your children, all right, the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 6, and I'm gonna start at I'm gonna start at 4. It says, Shema Yasharali Yahweh Elohai Yahweh Yahweh Hud. That means, hear, O Israel, our power is one Lord. All right. Yahweh, our power is one Lord. All right. And so there's only one power. Okay. All right. His name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. All right. Verse 5. It says, and thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, with all thy might. And to do that is to be wise, man, because if you love the Lord with all your soul, all your might, and all your power, you're going to keep his ways, man. You're going to serve him, all right? Verse 6, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk with them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. So in the times before, the truth came out, Jake was only learning the ways of oppression. Jake was only learning ways of wickedness, okay? Jake wasn't being taught the law, statutes, commandments. Jake wasn't being taught who they were because our heritage was taken away from us because of what it is that we did, contrary to living to the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. We idol worship, okay? We took after the customs of the heathen, all right? See if I can find that. So what we did, we practiced the ways of heathens. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 18:9. It says, art when thou art come into the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. All right, and what is it that Jake does, man? They follow after the ways of Esau, man. They follow after the ways that they've been taught by the so-called white man and what has been passed down from generation to generation, what they call tradition, all right? But these traditions were forced on our people because our people knew not the way of Yahweh Shema Shai. It says, this is Deuteronomy 18:10, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth deviation, or an observer of time, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahweh Shema Shai. And because of the abominations, and because of these abominations, Yahweh thy power doeth drive them out before thee. All right, thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh thy power. All right, so we're not supposed to be following after Cleo, the fortune teller lady, but the Lord put her to death. All right, we're not supposed to be following after Blaine, the magician guy. All right, these wizards and these warlocks, these people, even of our nation that do that voodoo shit, you Levites, okay? Not supposed to be following after that type of stuff, man. Okay, all right, because those things, all right, cause us to sin. Because the scriptures say, sin, witchcraft is the sin of death. Just roughly paraphrasing, all right. But I'm gonna go over some various laws, okay, that we should be that we can keep, okay, all right. Just like I just read here in Deuteronomy 18. All right, we can keep this law, not to go after observers, deviations, observers of times, enchanters, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consultant with familiar spirits, okay, or a wizard. All right, that's a law we can keep, man. All right, and one of the things that is used as a tool as a deviation tool, all right, a Slagia divination, all right, or an enchanter is a television screen, man. All right, that witchcraft that's on that television screen, all right, causes you to err, man, from the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. I was just reading some stuff down here at the bottom of my notes, but I got some precepts lined up that we can keep. All right. This Leviticus chapter 11. All right. This is simple. These are simple laws that we can keep. All right. These things will show forth that we fear the Lord. Okay. These things will show forth our wisdom while we walk through this world, and these things will show forth that we are separate, man. All right. Show forth our conduct to be better than those that are in the world. All right. Because the scriptures say, how shall I say, be ye holy as your heavenly Father is holy. All right. I think that's in Matthew. Let me grab that right quick. That's like 5:49, I think. Yep. All right. This is Matthew 5:48. Slakia. It says, Yahushua speaking, be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. And how do we be perfect? All right. Walking in wisdom. All right. Walking in the fear of the Lord. Walking after the commandments to the best of our abilities. All right. So this is I'm gonna read a few of them in the dietary law. All right, this is Leviticus 11:7, and you can also read the dietary law in Deuteronomy 14th chapter. All right, this is Leviticus 11:7, and the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. All right. So a pig is an unclean animal because one, he cheweth not the cud. Okay. All right. That's one reason right there. If you read up, it tells you that the animals that divide the cut, that chew the cut, divide the hoof, and the cloven footed you can eat, i.e., a cow, all right, a bison, all right, a deer, okay. But pigs is a big no-no, all right. The pigs, they eat anything, man. You could throw a dead body inside of a pig pen and they'll devour the body, pig bones and all. All right. Pigs are made to be cleaners of the earth. Okay. All right. Continuing on, Leviticus 11. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, nor their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. All right. We're gonna look at that word unclean. The word for unclean is tamai. I believe I'm saying it correct. Tame. All right. It says unclean, impure, ethically and religiously. All right. It's unclean ethically. All right. It's a defiled piece of meat, man. All right. Um, polluted. All right. It causes pollution in the body. It causes cancer. All right. It causes our people to have high blood pressure, so on and so forth, man. All right. Um, Here's another law. This is within the dietary law. All right, it says these. This is Leviticus 11:9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas, in the water, it's like it, in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, of anything which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. All right. And if I look up this word in my right here in my footnotes, it says abomination is a detestable thing. All right. So things that fish that don't have fins and scales. All right. A shark, it has fins, but it doesn't have scales. Okay. All right. Catfish. All right. They have fins, but they don't have scales. Okay. But Jake loves to eat catfish. All right. Shrimp, pork, crab. Shrimp, crab, and lobster. All right. Those things are hard shelled animals. All right. Well, hard shelled creatures that's at the bottom of the sea. But Jake loves to eat those things. All right. What are some lawful fish that you can eat? You can eat trout. All right. Those have fins and scales. Cod has fins and scales. Okay. All right. Salmon has fins and scales. Okay. I believe tuna has fins and scales. All right. Snapper fish has fins and scales. Okay. Those are lawful fish that you can eat. All right. Um, so that's a little bit in the law of the dietary law. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's see. Let's go back into Leviticus. Going back into Leviticus, this is Leviticus chapter 15, and this is speaking on discharges from the body. Okay, all right. Excuse me. This is a law for the males that I'm speaking on. All right. This is Leviticus 15 and 16. If any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the evening. All right. So if you're having sexual intercourse with a woman, all right, an unmarried woman, what I'm saying by unmarried woman, a woman that's not married to another man, okay, all right, in the sense of it being somebody's girlfriend or in the sense of it being somebody's wife in this time that we living in, all right, if you have sex with this woman and you ejaculate, all right, after you're done ejaculating, you need to go wash your body, man. Okay, that's right here in the law. It says, and if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water. All right. Don't just wash your balls and get in the whole shower. You take a whole shower, man. All right. That's Leviticus 15 and 16. That's a law that we can keep. All right. Simple laws, man, that we can keep. All right. And knowing that the law is not going to save you, it's the grace of the Lord that was going to save you. But do things that are pleasing unto the Lord so you can have a better chance at being saved. Okay. All right. This is Leviticus chapter 19, and I'm going to read verse 10, verse 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie to one another. All right, that's a law. All right, we can keep this, man. All right. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. All right, so if you hire somebody, all right, pay them that day once they're done with that work, man. I know Esau's system is set up to where you get paid every 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. All right, but nonetheless, man, if you own a small business and if you can afford to pay your employees that same day, man, go ahead and break them off that bread that same day for the labor that they worked for, that they did for you, you know. But the whole point of reading, another point in reading number 13 is not to defraud your neighbor, man. Don't rob them. Don't steal. Okay. Don't take what's not yours. Don't say this is yours. Don't be deceitful. All right. Verse same chapter, Leviticus 19 and 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. All right. Basically, what you're doing is correcting your brother, man. All right. When you see somebody going off of, the nation of Israel, you're supposed to refer them, hey, this is why you shouldn't do this, or this is why you shouldn't do that, and try your best to explain to them is within the law of your power to not do those things. That says to not do those things, i.e., commit adultery. All right. This is a big one right here. This is Leviticus 19:18. It says, "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, for I am Yahweh." All right. It's a curse in the Bible. All right. That's for you so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. All right. To have an evil eye towards your brother, man. So that's why I said it's a big one. And plus, we living in a society where the society teaches you to hate your own kind, but to love your enemy. When I say your own kind, I mean so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. All right, it's this society is propagated for you to hate yourself and hate yourself by going into the things that Esau Edom proclaims to be great or good for you, i.e., that transgender movement, Black Lives Matter, being homosexual, those things show forth of you so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians show forth hate for your own self and for your own people because you participate in those things, all right? And all right, the television, all those things propagate hate for you so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. We do not know another way, but we are being shown another way through Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, but this is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 54. This is a curse, man. All right. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. All right. So right here, it says in my footnotes, it says where it says shall be evil. All right. It says shall be hostile toward. Okay. And what is the reason that Jake is hostile toward another Jake, aside from the curses? Because that's how he was raised. Because that's how society, all right, What is it? You're a product of your environment. Okay. Jake has been subjected to hating his brother in his heart because that's what the environment shows. All right, look outside your window if you live in an area where it's heavily populated with Jakes. All right, Jake's getting shot down. Look at what's being propagated on television and in the news and in the music. All right, it's Jake against Jake, man. All right, but that's part of the curse that we can't escape. But you shouldn't try to avenge yourself against your brother. You shouldn't try to bear any grudges against your people, man. All right, because these are your people, man, and you're supposed to love your neighbor like yourself, man. Easier said than done, but it's doable, man. Okay. Um, all right. So here goes Leviticus 20. Some more things that we could keep. All right. Leviticus 20 speaks about things that having sex with family members. That's a no-no. All right. Don't do it. We can keep that way. All right. We can keep that. We can keep those. All right. Not having sex with a woman and her mother. All right. Not having sex with your father. Not having sex with your brother, your sister, your aunt on either side of your family. All right. Your uncle on either side of your family. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna read this. This is Leviticus 20 and 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They should surely be put to death. Their blood should be upon them. All right. So if you commit a homosexual act, all right, the Lord's gonna put you to death, man. All right. um, Let me see. This is a good one. And if a man takes a wife and her mother, it it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. So don't make your life go to sleep with your girlfriend's mother, all right, or your wife's mother, all right, because that's an abomination in the eyes of the Lord, all right. There's just some simple things that we can keep in regards of the law, man. Okay, all right, and there's plenty of more things that we can do to be separate from this world, man. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna close out with Deuteronomy chapter 4. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, Lucky. And I'm gonna start at 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. All right, and the land was the land of Israel, which you went into. All right, and we didn't keep the ways of the Lord. All right, and to perform something is to do it. All right, let me look up the word performance. All right, performance in the noun sense. All right, it says accomplishment, completion of something, which performance meaning that which is accomplished, a thing performed. All right, an action of performing a play. All right, so basically it's a completion of something. All right, you're carrying out something. Okay. All right, in the verb sense, it says to carry in, to affect, fulfill, carry out what is demanded or required. Okay. All right, and carrying out the law of Yahweh Shema Shai is demanded and it is required to be separate in this world, man. Okay. All right. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, perform them, and for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and surely say, this great nation is a wise and understanding people. All right. So to be a wise and understanding person, all right, is to perform the law. Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Wisdom is performance of the law, man. All right. And Job 28:28 says, and unto man he said, behold, the fear, this Job 28:28, the fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. All right, so the fear of the Lord is to perform his commandments, man. That's the wisest thing you could do. And performing the commandments, all right, shows forth you have understanding of what evil is and what to do and what not to do. So, Lord, will you edify? I want to give all praise and honor and glory unto you, how about Shem Al Shai, by Shem Hawakakodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who grew on teach well. I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect, Kwam Yasharal, and Mawaf Labba Shalom.